DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. It is Sunday afternoon. What time is it actually? It is, about 20 past 3 in the afternoon. And, the lights are on. I guess it's still a bit early, but I got a timer, and I guess that I had not set it for until it was dark. I thought I had, but anyway, it's part of the night it's on. So yeah, it's a little decorations. I like to say that I made it for the grandkids, but somehow I feel I made it just as much for myself, especially at night. It's really quite nice. Yeah. As you can see, though, is no snow. Far from it, actually. It's raining quite heavily right now, and it is something like it's 9 degrees Celsius. Well, that is pretty warm. It's not, you know, out of season, and the respect is that it's always a bit the same in December. There's a period where it's cooler, and we will be going probably towards colder weather. But right now, this is a bit of a warm spell. Anyway, yeah, I was chatting today. We had church in the morning, and one of the men that I like to chat with, he's American. He was a vet. He's married to a Swiss lady, and they've been here for a long time, and they have their family here, and so on. So he's a bit like us in that respect. I mean, he's settled here now. But he was saying that we were talking about Thanksgiving, and well, we didn't actually do a turkey or anything this year. It'll go at Christmas because, well, first off, people were working. Thanksgiving is not an actual holiday, and on that weekend, some of the family members weren't feeling well. So yeah, so I asked him, well, what did you do? He said, well, there actually, I didn't mention that, but there are two families in the family group, no, three actually, and they all have like 4 or 5 kids, something like that. I mean, really exceptional for this part of the world. And he was telling me, yeah, we had guests over, so we cooked 2 turkeys this year to be able to get through it. And it was funny because people like to bash Americans. It's part of the like the world's hobbies these days. But when it comes to Thanksgiving, and if you offer them a turkey meal, you usually don't have anybody that really says no, do you? No. But I mean, the whole thing behind that actually is, Thanksgiving, and say how grateful you are, and so on. And I'm looking forward to that at Christmas period. But we had a meal yesterday, and we did chat a little bit about that with the family. Yeah, it wasn't a Thanksgiving meal. It was Swedish meatballs, which I make with the Instant Pot, and I kind of like. I often do that. I take like 3 or 4 recipes and take the best of them, and make my own from it. It's actually a pretty good way to, I find, to do the cooking. Just let me put this on. Sorry, just for a moment. Here we are. Yeah, and I combined those recipes and really was happy with the result. They were nice, moist. So I'm talking about the meatballs, and they had that taste, that comes from the allspice, which is basically, parts. The main components, I would say, to go and give the spice will be there's cloves, there's cinnamon, there's nutmeg. That's part of it, and then there's Worcestershire sauce and Dijon mustard, which is in the gravy. Yeah. But those things combined with, so basically it's pork and beef. So if you use, yeah, that's what I use basically, a mixture of pork and beef. It was probably slightly more pork, but it was really, really, really good, and it came out nicely, and so nobody was complaining. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Thanksgiving. So that kind of ended up being our pseudo Thanksgiving meal because we had not been together, and it was fun. And yesterday, over here in Switzerland was well, everywhere in the world really. It's Saint Nicholas, so the 6th of December. So that is, I think some people used to call it Little Christmas, but over here it's a big, big thing in our town. We did not get dressed up as Saint Nicholas and his black or counterpart called the Schmutzli over here. We looked at a video on TV that I had made with Mrs. DC a few years back, and the grandkids were kind of laughing at it because they were saying, it's Nanny and Grandpa, and you try and say, no, it isn't. It's Saint Nick, and he says, you can't fool me, and well, they're right, but it doesn't matter. So we gave them their bag of, basically it's mostly peanuts and a few bit of candy and some gingerbread, and Mrs. DC makes these really fancy little bread men. Basically, it's a tradition over here in Switzerland. In the Swiss German part, they're called Grittimann or Grittibans, and yeah, people like them. It's basically it's bread, and it's in the shape of a little man, kind of like almost like kind of looks like the shape often of the gingerbread men that we would have as kids. They're kind of like that shape, except it's actual bread. Yeah. So it was a busy weekend with the family and the church family. So we did have we call it after church, an after service period, where I like the way they call it. They say the bar is open. So there's a bar at the end of the church service, and they don't serve alcohol. They serve a really bad coffee actually, and some tea and soft drinks and stuff like that. The proceeds go for the youth group, so it's a good thing. It's well worth spending a few francs for the kids. Yeah. What else this week? Well, I had my Spanish classes, and wow, they were intense. We've been discussing, about about political parties, the different types of revolutions and devolutions and convolutions of the I was going to almost say of Mexican society and their political parties, and I've been looking into that. And yesterday with my teacher, well, no, not yesterday, Friday, with my teacher, so Isaac, I said, I feel like I should be sitting down at a bar with you right now with a beer with this type of discussion. And we laughed because we said, it is, but it's the whole thing. It's this kind of partaking of discussions which, well, to get back to Thanksgiving, which are the unwanted discussions around the Thanksgiving table. Well, of course, ours was a very friendly discussion. It wasn't, it wasn't a bad one. But I mean, I've been reading newspapers, and I've got a couple of newspapers that I read online, and so on. So we use that as a basis, and it is challenging. But that's the whole idea, isn't it? When you're learning something new, it's got to be challenging and stretch your, I was going to say, your brain muscles, if I can call them that way. Yeah. Okay, I guess I've been chatting long enough. I haven't actually put on a timer to see how long that I've been chatting. So that's it. So, yeah, Sunday. I'll be DC